Too Faced Hangover Primer, my absolute favorite. That's not going... This is not going anywhere. This has, like, been my all-time favorite primer right now, and I'm gonna be so sad when I run out because it's kind of pricey. I have, like, hair clips and hair ties and hair accessories in here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them here, but this is just, like, usually wear. These are the Dinoplaz Dear Brandt Brachiosaurus 100% Korean Mulberry Blotting Powder. Blotting paper. I really like these. I got these from Sephora. I really like it because you get this little like foam pad and it has a sticky side and it just picks up your blotting sheets. So it doesn't pick up your hand oils, it just picks up your face oils. And it comes with a nice little mirror. I really like that. I bought these on sale. I definitely need to pick up more. I mean, I'm not really running too low on those. Love those. These are new to my collection. These are the e.l.f. Glow line, the Glow Plus line. I really enjoy these. I'm pretty sure this is what's breaking me out if I use it as a regular moisturizer. But if I only use it as a primer, it's beautiful. I like this priming stick. But the only thing, can you see that? This is like peeling off and it gets all on the product and it gets in the product and it gets on your face. I like this product, but I think I'm gonna end up taking alcohol and just removing this because look at how easy it flakes. The Monistat Chafing Relief Powder Gel. I've heard this is a good primer. I don't use it as a primer. I use it for its intended purposes. But I figured I could throw it in with my primers because people use it as a primer anyways. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. I'm not the biggest fan of e.l.f. primers. I think I'm going to give this one more shot before I actually kick it to the curb. I have this Dr. Brandt Illuminating Primer. I've had this in my collection for a while, and I don't think I've actually ever used it. I think I might have used it one time. I got it in a BoxyCharm a while ago. I think I'm also going to test this one out and see if I like it with my favorite foundation. If I don't, bootski. I have a couple mini primers. Now, I really like the Hangover primer. This is a staple. I love this when traveling. It's just so tiny. Keeping that. The Smashbox Radiance. I don't think I've used this all over my face, and I don't think I would. But I have used it on the high points of my face to kind of prime my highlighter or like use it as a liquid highlighter, and I really do like that. This is the NYX Honeydew Me Up. I got this 2 years ago and the shelf life is 12 months. I don't like it. I think the gold flecks are horrible. I think it makes your face super duper sticky. This is the old formula, so I think they've changed it and it no longer has all of these gold flecks. But because it's so old, I'm tossing it. This needs washed. I don't know, I don't hear many people talk about this trick, but a lot of people just throw these little pads away. They come in like cheap drugstore foundations and little mini compacts. I really like it to use it to soak up oil. I mean, it does kind of pick up a little bit of your foundation, but I think it's fantastic for soaking up those oils if you don't want to just continuously use blotting sheets. So this is going to get washed. These are leftover. These are leftover from when I thought I needed makeup remover wipes, and then I discovered face halos, and that's why they kind of like don't stick anymore because they're kind of old and they're still reasonably damp. I think they'd be fine for quick changing shadows and stuff, but I don't love them because they break me out, and I just think they're terrible for the environment. And there are so many reusable makeup removers that are better. They are a little pricey up front, but they last you so much longer. They're better. They actually get everything out of your pores. And your trash can's not full of just wipes. And here I have Q-tips. I need to refill these. The best thing to have readily available. More hair clips. And then I also have blackhead remover. bucket removers. These are mostly my matte primers and just like pore primers. One Heck of a Blot isn't going anywhere. It's basically a dupe for the Makeup Forever Step 1 Base Mattifying Primer. This is the first high-end primer I ever bought. I bought this at a Dillard's counter. I bought the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and this came with it. And it came with like a crappy foundation brush that no one likes. But I use those for masks, so whatever. I don't know why people like this. I don't enjoy it, like, at all. And I think this is my second tube of it. And there's barely anything in there. So I am just going to trash this one. The Benefit The Professional Matte Rescue. Now, I do like this primer because it's more of a gel than a silicone. And it smells really good, and it does kind of mattify. I don't know if I love it. Like, I don't think it actually pore blurs or anything because it doesn't have as much silicone in it. But I'm just going to keep trying it out. Because I don't really reach for this often. This is the Benefit Stay Flawless 15-Hour Primer. This is like 3 years old. Look. NYX Shine Color. I don't remember what my opinion is on this, but I'm pretty sure it's past its date. So I think I'm just gonna let it go. That was expensive too. That was like one of the most expensive primers from the drugstore I've ever purchased. I have like a mini, the Professional. I don't know if I like it. I'm just gonna keep it. Too Faced Mascara Melt Off. I haven't actually tried this, so I'm just gonna keep it. The Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I'm throwing this away. I'm pretty sure it's way out of date. So this is my Catrice Prime and Fine. This is the best primer. This is my drugstore powders, kind of like unique high-end powders. I have like a kabuki brush. This is my high-end powders, and then all of my foundations are here. I have them categorized already. I kind of already decluttered these. I think I'm going to go through them one more time just to make sure. These are silicone-based primers, and these right here are water-based primers. And then I was mixing my foundations. Silicone-based foundations, water-based foundations, and then I don't know why I hoarded old foundation. Okay, starting out, this is the NYC Smooth Skin setting powder. This was one of my very first drugstore setting powders. I think it's really nice for beginners and like starting out and just wanting something inexpensive. I am pretty low on this powder, and I don't know if I'll be repurchasing it after I finish it, but I definitely want to try to finish this within the next couple months. It's been the powder I've been gravitating towards. I don't know, it's just not my favorite. This is my Coty Airspun powder. It's the, whoo, damn, she smells like an old lady. You know that smell, you know? You know the scent when you know the scent. As you can tell, I haven't used it very much. I don't know if I like this powder. I can't get past the smell. I mean, it's a fan favorite. Like, you can see how jam-packed it is. Like, if I push on that, powder comes up. Oh, God. I can't with the smell of it right now. I think I'm just going to hold on to it because it is a good drugstore powder. I mean, it's super smooth. This is the, like, one of the very original Fit Me Matte and Poreless powders. I don't even know if they still make it in this format. I'm going to wash that. As you can see, it is very, very well loved. This is the only powder I've actually completely panned on. I've had this in my collection for a while. It's definitely seen better days, and it's probably time to go. I have a bunch of stuff I would like to finish, and this is one of them. So, I'm gonna hold on to that. This is the new Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Powder in the shade 112 Natural Ivory. You can kind of tell this is well loved and well appreciated. I've already kind of hit a little bit of hard pan on there, which I might scrape up or just try to use. I really like this. It's new to my collection. I will not be getting rid of it. One of the best drugstore foundation powders out there right now. It is a little pricey. I believe it's like $12 or $13, which is a little pricey for a powder, but if you're not using it to set your face and you're just using it after you set your face to add just a little bit more coverage, I think it is well worth the $14. I have two of my all-time favorite powders. I love this. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of it. I think it's really great for setting under your eyes specifically. Okay, so we're going to start out with this Urban Decay De-Slick Compact. Now, this is pure ass white powder. Like, I think it says, you know, it's just a mattifying powder. So I think this is more of like a blotting powder than a setting powder. Days I know that I'm just going to need a little more oomph out of my makeup. This is a very pricey powder. So I had to stop using this because I felt like I was just blowing through it. I was like, I can't afford $35 for a pretty compact with product that's gone in a month, like less than a month. So I cut back on it, but, oh, there you go. You can kind of see it right there. See, you can see the rings? Yeah. But I've rediscovered it. I've refound it. I've refallen in love with it. And I think if I were to use it up, I would repurchase. This is the loose setting powder in Original by Dermablend Professional. If you want to stay matte all day, like all freaking day, if you are super drenched in oil, I recommend this foundation, this Smashbox Studio Skin, and this powder. The combination together, whoo, it is perfection. Like, your skin looks amazing. It stays matte. You're good to go throughout the whole freaking day. Like, you don't have to worry about your makeup sweating off your face if you combine those two. Love this. We'll always repurchase this. This is going nowhere. The Urban Decay Velvetizer. Now, I don't love this. I don't love it. And I'm mad because it was like $40. I don't love it. And it sucks because it is the softest powder I've ever felt in my life. It feels better than the actual velvet, because this is velvet, on the packaging. And the packaging is gorgeous. I don't know if I love it. I think I'm going to repurchase the L'Oreal True Match foundation because that's not for oily skin at all. And I have more like combo leaning oily than leaning dry. So I think I'm going to repurchase that and try to mix this in because this is a mix-in medium. If you didn't know, sorry. I think I'm going to mix this into that and see if I like that foundation with this because it's supposed to like make it a matte foundation like to the best of its ability. I don't like this as a setting powder under my eyes, especially. It's so yellow. It picks up whatever product is already on your face. I don't know. I really need to retry it and see if I actually like it because I spent a lot of money on it and I've used barely any of it. So this is the Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Pink. I love this. I tend to lean more to the peachy pink setting powders than I do the translucent yellows. But it is really, really nice, and I think I would repurchase it. I just think I'd buy the translucent one. Oh my god. This powder is old. My mom gave me this back when I lived with her in like 2015. I've been moved out for 3 years. I moved out in 2016 when I graduated. It's so old that it still has the lift-in sifter. You know, it doesn't have the where you can actually get all the product out of here and get your money's worth of product. This is like the Christmas edition. This is so old and dusty and crusty and expired. And it's in the shade Light. It is yellow. Like, look, it's yellow as my nails. Trash. It's not my favorite. I feel so bad saying that. I spent so much money on this powder. It's not my favorite. It's so yellow. It's so yellow. don't like yellow powders. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep it. But if you don't like a super yellow under eye, you won't like this under your eyes. I think overall it's a great setting powder, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a staple in everyone's collection, but it's not my favorite, and I don't think you should spend the money on it, personally. This is the Bareminerals. See, look what I was saying, like the clicky inside. That's how old that Bareminerals foundation was. This is the Mineral Veil. I used to really love this, but I don't think I used it right. I used it after the Bareminerals foundation as a finishing powder. I think I'm going to re-pick this one up, the actual Mineral Veil, and use it as a setting powder. So I'm going to put this off to the side as my repurchase, but throw away because it's old. This is the Benefit Hello Flawless Petal. I don't use this. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It's not the right color. It is super duper old, like 4 years. Goodbye. This is the Bareminerals Blemish Ready. This is not my shade. I'm getting rid of it. Goodbye. Oh man, the NYX Total Control. How old is this? When did I buy this? I bought this when I first moved in with Colin. That was like almost 2 years ago. It's still in date. This product is, dare I say, too pigmented. I spilt it everywhere when I first moved in, all over his drawers, all over everything in the carpet. I am going to keep it because it is so light. I think it would lighten up my darker foundations, and it's water-based, and I don't have a lot of water-based foundations. Oh, Flower Beauty. I didn't like this, and I think the only reason I didn't like it is because look at the shade and look at my hand. It's like yellow in a bottle. Yellow. This is the shade Nude L3. I don't know why I thought that was going to match me, but like, ew, no, I'm getting rid of that. A foundation mixer. This one's like a warmth. It kind of makes you a little orange. Don't like that, but I do want to kind of keep it as maybe a way to cream bronzer with it. Maybe make a special like bronzing concoction. Now these Wet n Wild cushion foundations are very new to my collection. I think they both aren't my shade. I have 108A Nude Beige and 107A Cream Ivory. I haven't really gotten the chance to try these out either, so I'm gonna keep. I have 3 of these new L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundations. I have the shade 415, 435, and 450. 450 is way too dark. It is not my shade at all. 435 is just a couple hues darker, and 415 is almost my perfect, is around my perfect shade. The only reason I'm going to keep all 3 is because I do get pretty tan. Like, you probably wouldn't believe it because of how pale I am right now. I do get pretty dark in the summer, so I am going to hold on to these, and after the summer, if I don't tan, I'm just going to get rid of 450. This is my favorite foundation. This is the Covergirl Matte Made foundation. It's a comfort matte, and I will agree with that. I love mixing this and the L'Oreal Infallible together. I think they make the perfect foundation. As you can tell, this is well loved. I like how thick it is. Like, this is more of a watery consistency, and this is more of a thick. So this one's kind of like neutral pink, and this one's more of like a neutrally yellow. So I like to mix the two together, and they're basically the perfect shade and the perfect formula. So this is L70 in the Covergirl, and this is 415 in the Infallible, if you're anything close to me. So this is the Infallible Pro Matte 102 Shell Beige. So I'm going to keep that. These 2 foundations absolutely have to go. I bought the Revlon Color Stay in 150 Buff for normal dry skin. I'm not normal or dry. This is the shade, this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 in 00B Light. Way too yellow. I don't like this formula. Comes with a pump, which is great. Like, both of these come with a pump. Thank you. I don't like these. Maybelline Superstay, I bought way too light. Like, I'm not fair porcelain. Like, probably if you look at my hand, I'm fair porcelain. The Wet n Wild foundation. I bought this in Rose Ivory. It stinks. I'm going to find and replace this in the right shade because it's super old and crusty dusty. Oh, the Revolution Conceal and Define. I love this stuff. I will be keeping that. the Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Hour in 0.05. It's a little light for me. I think I could go up to the next. I think this is like Fair Cool. I think I could pick up Light Cool. I'm going to keep this. I think I need to purchase a different shade, but I'm not going to do that right now because this is like $32. So I'm just going to keep what I've got and work with it. I can't get rid of this foundation. This is what started it all. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place foundation in 2N1. That's how dark I used to be. I was desert beige. Oh, I forgot to also mention these foundations. These are the CYO Life Proof foundation in 102, 106, and 103. I think I'm 106 and 103. I can't remember. I have to watch the video that I filmed. These are $6 foundations. They are fantastic, amazing. Yes, buy them. And I have combo oily skin and I love it. I have the Collab powder in Set the Stage finishing. This is the Set the Stage Soft Focus Translucent Finishing Powder. It's a little too yellow, but it's super nice. The L'Oreal Pro Glow. Robert Christie recommends this. This is in 203. I believe I bought a lighter shade though. Oh god. This is probably my worst organized, the drawer that needs the most love and attention paid to it. Okay, so I have an idea planned. I spent way too much money at Stila on glitters, and I bought a turnabout, like one of those lipstick turnabout things. So I'm gonna pull out all of my glitters. So I've adjusted this so you can actually see what's going on in this drawer because it is a little lower. I have my Ulta trash bag right there because there's going to be a lot going. I'm going to start here. These are so freaking old. I think my mom gave these to me when I was like 14 years old. That was 6 years ago. These are the Bareminerals Glitters. I do love these. I think I might try to repurchase some of these. Like, Here Kitty and True are two of my favorite shades. So I think I'm going to try to keep those. True Gold, Peacock. Those were from their, like, Peacock edition. I think Bali is pretty. I'm not going to actually keep these ones. I'm going to write them down as, like, my I used to love, I need to rebuy. So I can actually get rid of the old ones and keep up with the new ones. And I did love Tiger Lily. Oh, that was such a pretty one. But these two, Peacock and True Gold, I don't think I will repurchase. Goodbye. This one's from Avon in Bronze Stone. Yeah, no, goodbye. Which one is this? Sugar Plum. It's like a real rich purple. Completely gorgeous. Completely gorgeous. I think I'm gonna write this one down as well. Fun fact, those little loose pigments, that's how I started filling in my eyebrows, was with a brown one. I don't even think I still have it. These are just like, you're supposed to put glitter glue on and put them on your face. They're not really eye safe. I never used them. These are from back when I was in high school, probably when I was a junior. So at least 4 years ago. Goodbye. This is from e.l.f. This is one of their smudge pots in the shade Wine and Knot. I can't even get my finger in there. It's right up. Now, this is more of my recent purchases and more manageable than all of the crap that was floating on in here. This is one of the L'Oreal Infallible like loose eyeshadows. This one's in the shade Amber Rush. This was a cult favorite for a really long time. I will admit, YouTube made me buy this. I think it is stunning. And I'm going to keep it. I don't use it as much as I should because it's a single and I forget about it. Starlight Studio in the shade Rainbow Dream and Ultraviolet. I'd write them down because they look very similar, but as you can see, Rainbow Dream reflects purple as Ultraviolet doesn't. It's like iridescent. So I had to write them on there because for some reason the numbers are the same. I got these at Target for like $6 each, and I actually haven't gotten around to using them. I think they're gorgeous, and I just need to find the time, you know? Okay, so this is my all-time favorite mascara. The only mascara I love out of every mascara I've ever tried, which, it's not like a whole lot. I haven't tried every single mascara out there. But I think it is the best, and I think it is so underrated. I love the wand. I love the formula. It doesn't flake. It doesn't smear. It's so easy to remove. It's easy to build. It is like the perfect mascara, and my lashes are so wonky, and it makes them just full and voluminous, and I always get, are those your real lashes? NYX glitter glue. That's gonna go with my glitters. Okay, this is my all-time favorite eyelash curler. Oh, Maybelline Eye Studio. This was my very first potted eyeliner. It's still kind of, oh, look at that line. Oh, you can't even see. It's still like pretty opaque. Doesn't really smell funny. I've had this for a really long time, and I don't feel comfortable using it on my eyes or giving it away. I think I'm going to repurchase it. Abh Soft Glam. Love this palette. I get plenty of use out of it. I even bought it from my mom. This is my new favorite palette from Makeup Geek. It is their Champagne and Rosé. Keeping. The Winky Luxe Boxy Charm edition. The Kitten palette. Keeping. The Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air. Ooh, it's stuck. I already have them on a Renaissance, but I really like this for traveling because it's less bulky. Sweet Peach palette. I don't use this a ton, but I do like the smell and the color theory in it, like the color story. Love it. I think I'm going to keep that. Blush Tribe Blossom palette. This was like my first indie palette. I don't get a lot of use out of it. I don't think it's as it's more of a pastel palette. I don't have anything like it, so I am going to hang on to it. The Zulu by Julius is one of my newer palettes. It's my only palette by Julius Place. I'm keeping it. The Take Me Back to Brazil. I am torn. I don't think this is BH's best quality palette. I haven't used it very much. I think I need to use it a little bit more to make a final, like, decision. It's not my favorite colorful palette, honestly. Like, I think spend the money on Certify. I think you would like it a lot more than this. Naked 3. This is one of the palettes that started it all for me. I'm keeping it. NYX Ultimate. It's more money than what it's worth, but I mean, I'm gonna keep it. All of these I'm pretty much gonna keep. The Glam Metals Crown. I got this on a Boxy Charm. Clearly you can see that I haven't used it. I don't know how I feel about it. These shimmers are kind of whack. I'm just gonna try it out. Put it in my try it out bin. I have a shadow switch from Ulta Beauty, which is dirty, so that needs washed. And then my favorite palette of all time, just because, the Trolls. This is my only Pure Cosmetics one. I think the color story is kind of whack. I don't think it properly shows each troll. I think whoever curated it didn't do a good job, but it's Trolls, and I'm going to therefore keep it. This is the duped version of the Makeup Forever face paint palette. I'm gonna keep this. I really like it. I've only used it a few times, but I mean... This... I just depotted a Bareminerals palette, and that's what this is. This is one of the Wet n Wild palettes. I think I'm just going to trash all of those. This is from a palette I got at TJ Maxx. I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave this alone for now. Not a Basic Peach from Wet n Wild. I like this. I really like the color theory. I like the shimmers in this palette. This transition's super nice. It's like my perfect transition shade. So yeah, that's gonna stay. This Hard Candy palette, I don't know why I bought it. It's all mattes. I mean, it's okay. I need to play with it more before I get rid of it. It is pretty. I don't remember who recommended this. It's okay, basically. It's okay. Oh god. This is like one of my very first Wet n Wild palettes. I bought it for like, and my mom bought it for me when I was like a Raiders cheerleader for the KYFL, which is like little kid. So I'm just gonna trash that. Oh, I don't use this and I feel bad because my mom bought it for me. And it smells so good. I think I'm just gonna add it to like my travel palette. You know. Okay, this is my very first high-end palette. My mom paid me money to help her with one of her papers because when I was in high school I was really good at whipping out essays. And I got an A on it, so she gave me even more money and let me spend like $100 at Sephora, which got me 2 things. So, yeah, whatever. You can tell that I really loved the Naked Smoky. Like, the shimmers were well used. Like, I even rubbed a lot of that off. I used the crap out of this palette. I mean, I didn't hit pan. They discontinued it and then never, like, talked about it. It hurt me because it was my very first expensive palette. Like, I spent $60 on this palette and they just discontinued it and never talked about it again. I can think of why they discontinued it, and here is why. They called this the Naked Smoky palette. The matte shades in here were super hard to actually smoke out and blend, and they were patchy and they didn't want to do anything. The shimmers you had to like super spray. Like, if you can see, it's super hard pan right there. Like, you barely get any pigmentation. I don't know, I can't get rid of this because it is discontinued and because I did love it. I mean, I loved it as much as I could because I thought that this was a really good eyeshadow palette, and now I know that it's not that great and I know why it's discontinued. But just like my Estee Lauder Double Wear, this started it all for me. So I will be holding on to this. This is the Wet n Wild Poster Child. Now, when I bought it for this yellow. But this yellow is a shimmer, and I thought it was more of not a shimmer. I thought all of Wet n Wild products weren't a shimmer. Like, why do you say this is for your eyelid, this is for your crease, this is a definer shade, when they're all shimmers? I don't understand. I don't enjoy this palette. I don't love it. I'm not going to keep it. I have better colorful palettes, so I'm going to get rid of this. Carly Bible. Okay, this is the deluxe edition. I don't know if you can tell, but I loved the crap out of this palette. This is like one of the very first palettes I almost hit completely pan on, especially this shade. I wish I didn't discontinue it. I wish you could still get your hands on it. I don't use it because it is discontinued, but I love the color story. I think this is really beautiful, and I think she did a really good job curating this, and I wish she would collab with them again because this is one of my very first BH Cosmetics palette, and like with the Take Me Back to Brazil, the formulations were completely different, and this wasn't, like, this was what I had in mind, and it didn't meet that expectation I had. Beauty Creations 35 Color Pro Palette. I don't like purples, and I bought freaking purples. I thought it was really pretty when I bought it on Shop Hush. Like, I liked that all of these are basically matte. I liked that it was like burgundy, and like I thought it was like my own little, I could make it my own little modern Renaissance palette with the money I had. These shadows, I mean, I barely really touched any of them, but the ones I did, I just, the mattes are whack. You really have to dig in there. The shimmers are okay, but as you can tell, like, I really pressed into those shimmers to get anything to work. I don't want a palette that I have to make work. I want a palette that I love, and I don't love this, so I will be passing this right along. Alright, I have 2 more palettes in this drawer. This is the Royals Bad Habit palette. I think I'm going to hold on to it for just a little bit longer, and if Bad Habit and Hush don't become available, I will completely get rid of it. The last palette I have is like from when I used to get Ipsy bags. This is really old, but I didn't have anything like this like for the longest time, and I just think it brings back such good memories that I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, these are my display palettes, and this is the last of my palettes. Modern Renaissance Subculture. Modern Renaissance, one of the best. Subculture had a huge issue, you don't. I just recently purchased this. You can tell I've only used a couple shades. This is a finicky palette, but the color story is just unbeatable, and I would like to get it to work. And I have a couple different techniques than when I first started makeup that I would like to try on this. So I'm going to definitely be keeping both of these. I think those are going to go right back there. Alright, so Life's a Drag Lunar Beauty. I think Manny killed this palette. Certify. This is one of my all-time favorite color palettes, and I just ordered the Affinity 2, and it should be here the next week or 2. This is what it looks like. Not a fan just of the packaging, because look at how easily it stains, but it is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color story. The yellow and the red and the orange are absolutely to die for. I need to try these other shades, but I freaking love this palette. And it's such a beautiful artwork. Like, oh, that is one thing that big brands don't have for them, is just the artwork. Like, this is simple packaging. Like, she does all of her palettes like this. It's simple, like, it's like simple, cheap, just standard packaging, you know? But it's elegant, it's beautiful. Like, there was time taken into creating this and curating it, and I love how her brand is growing, and I absolutely love the way she does her palettes. Like, she does mock-ups, and then she asks, hey, what would you change? Or like, hey, what do you think? Do you like this? Such and such. The Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This is a new one to my collection. I think it's okay. I think that if I would have bought it when everybody else bought it, I'd be shitting my pants and never ever get rid of it. It's okay. The Morphe James Charles palette. This is like the most recent purchase. One of the most recent. I got it when it launched. Like the day it launched, I was at work buying it. I can't even get it all in the shop. There we go. I think it's beautiful. I think that it is worth the $40 because you get 39 shades, $39 a shade, cheap. I think you really have to work with it. My favorite shades in this palette, my absolute favorite shade in this whole palette is Mary. I think it is the most beautiful. I really like pinky burgundy shades a lot. Canvas, Punch Me, Boutique, and Hello. Those are kind of like my favorite, just a few of my favorite shades in this palette. Okay. The Makeup Revolution Emily Edit. The Wants. Freaking gorgeous. I need to play with this more. I don't think I could ever get rid of this. God, I can't get this. There we go. I love it. I think you want your neutrals, your pops of colors, you want to have a little fun. Yeah, why not? Like, pick it up. It's a $20 palette. The Physicians Formula Butter Collection with Casey Holmes. I'm about to shit on this, and I love Casey, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm about to shit on this, but I have to. The perfume exploded. My entire palette stinks of that scent. not like smells bad, but it's just, ugh, you know, it's like just too much. It just stinks, but not like, oh, you stink. Just like, holy shit, that's a lot. It stinks. The lip cream, it's like metallic-y, shiny. I don't like it. The highlighter is just like pure glitter. I can really only use it on my lid. I tried using it on my face and it was too chunky. I do like the bronzer and the blush. I just have to be super light-handed. The shadows so far blend really creamy. I've only really tried like these three. The green, I understand that she loves greens and that's her as a person and as somebody who loves makeup, she loves green. But I just think the shades don't go together really well. I think you have to bring in another palette. That's just my opinion on it. I think it was curated beautifully, and like $20 for all of this when one of these is usually like 14 now. I think it's gone up that much. I think she did a really good job, but I just think personally I have a few gripes with it. Just based on my taste. Just based on like what I like and what I don't like. Do I regret purchasing this? Hell no. I like supporting my favorite YouTubers, and she is the first YouTuber, one of the very first YouTubers I got into. Packaging, yeah. I think it's cute, just a little bulky. Okay guys, so that completes my declutter of my entire collection. As for this side of my drawers, I didn't really have like a lot to talk about. I just needed to throw away a lot. So I'm gonna kind of go over what I decluttered and what I am throwing away. This is all that I am decluttering. This will get, I will take this with me when I go back home just to see if any of my friends want it. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. All of this Ulta bag is completely trash. It's like old, it's like old things that I've been holding on to. It's things that I've used the crap out of and nobody needs. It is lip products that are absolutely disgusting. Like I don't like sharing lip products or eye products. I don't like getting old lip products. Like unless it's like an actual lipstick bullet where you can, for the most part, you can disinfect those. But yeah, that is the declutter of my collection. I am so happy because I've ordered a bunch of new makeup. I have new stuff coming. I have new stuff already here. I have video planned. It gives me kind of like a fresh, like, I can breathe again. I have fresh new drawers. Like everything's organized. Everything's what I want. None of it's what I don't need. Nothing. I'm not keeping anything I don't use. Like, I kind of have a big collection for someone who's just starting YouTube. I feel like I have a great start. I'm really excited to start this journey. I feel like once I can get my room rearranged to be the most space sufficient I can get it so I can comfortably film in my tiny space, I think that will be amazing. And then I'll just be like, I can film. I don't have to take 5 hours to set up. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You can give this video a like if you like it, subscribe if you want. If you don't, that's fine. I'm just glad you're watching. I hope you enjoyed this declutter, and I'll see you on my next one. Okay, bye. Okay, like take 80 of this video.